गुड आफ्टरनून फ्रेंड्स। आज मेरे एक दोस्त ने मुझे एक किताब की याद दिला दी जो मैंने काफ़ी दिनों पहले पढ़ी थी। उस दोस्त ने मुझसे ये पूछा कि ज़ाहिद, टेल मी वन थिंग, हर माइंड ऑलवेज puzzled that everybody says God is omniscient, omnipresent. खुदा हर जगह मौजूद है, but she doesn't find him anywhere. Despite her trying all over, she doesn't find God anywhere. Then she goes to consult all these religious scholars who have a total authority on God and ask them. They said, listen, the best way to find God is to look within. And she said very simply, she tells me that she has been trying very hard, but she really doesn't know how to look within. She goes back again to some intellectuals and asks them, where is God? They tell them, what are you talking? What are you asking? This God has created the entire cosmos, entire universe. God has created the world. Then she said, the immediately next question comes to her mind. If God has created the entire universe, then who created the God? And all those intellectuals get this simple shut-up call and they have no answer. Now her talking to me all this and asking my explanation, because these things that I am also on the line of those intellectuals. I feel like laughing. I know who the hell I am and how much grey I carry. So I simply remembered a book. I have read it just about a year back. The book was Paul Davis. Now Professor Paul Davis was the person who wrote the book The Mind of God. And he wrote it so beautifully, it was so popular, that he was also awarded for his writing The Mind of God the Templeton Prize, and that prize is $650,000 prize, a huge amount. Now the article he writes is entitled Getting to Grips with God, Science and the Super Being. Davis writes that historically science has been regarded as a demoralizing and alienating influence, implying a majestic but pointless universe. But an increasing number of scientists, he says, are drawing very different conclusions from their discoveries. He further goes on to exhort people to discard these primitive religious concepts. In the popular imagination, my friend, most of the world, any religion, any sect or any belief, in the popular imagination, God is a sort of cosmic magician who sits somewhere beyond the sky, and from time to time he works miracles. As a scientist, Davis writes that he finds that he himself a scientist and a professor, he writes that the very notion of miracles are simply repugnant. While the concept of God, who is just another force at work in the universe, whimsically moving atoms about strike me as a childish, I would rather suppose that the laws of physics operate unfailingly throughout the physical world. There are far too many stories I keep hearing from every religion on the miracles that God has shown to the people, his believers, and whole lot of the prophets or the Sufis and saints who have been doing far too many things which fail the physical laws. अब मेरा ये यकीन है कि nature has some certain laws and those cannot be broken at all. It is universal. How then did this universe comes to existence? Ask it. Was it with the Big Bang? Or was it like Islam says, kun faye kun, be, and it was there? What was there before the Big Bang, or what was there before the kun faye kun? Who created Big Bang? What comes to the God's mind to say kun faye kun and create the world? दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई और काहे को दुनिया बनाई? Just no answers, my friend. However, scientists are in hot pursuit everywhere to find an answer to this. Einstein gave convincing proof that time is an integral part of the physical world and it can be manipulated in a laboratory by motion and gravitation. But theologians put God beyond this, much beyond this. He is infinite, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. He is beyond human mind. At some point of research, scientists also throw up their hands. They give up because they don't reach to any logical conclusion. There are far too many things which are beyond any reason or explanation. Professor Davis, in his book, The Mind of God, he further writes that many scientists are content to accept the order in the nature as the package of marvels that just happen to exist. Those like myself who are intrigued to know where the laws of physics come from are impressed by a key fact. The laws do not have to be what they are. They could have been otherwise. Moreover, actual law seems to be special in several respects. Let's say, for example, I say, not only do they permit the universe to originate spontaneously from nothing, they also permit it to self-organize and self-complexity to the point where life and consciousness emerge, including sentient beings who can understand the working of nature through science and reflect on its meaning. It's amazing. I request all my audience friends who are listening me to find time and read Paul Davis, The Mind of God. You will be overwhelmed. Davis concludes, the word God means so many different things to different people that I am loath to use it. When I do, it is in the sense of the rational ground that underpins physical reality. Used in this way, God is not a person, but a timeless abstract principle that implies something like meaning or purpose behind physical existence. It is my impression that many modern theologians have in mind something very similar to what Professor Davis has to say. Now with this backdrop, all of you, give it a thought. Where is God? What are the belief system you have? Are we any closer to finding God? No. I love poetry, and Urdu poetry I enjoy most. I take shelter behind the Urdu couplet. तो दिल में तो आता है, समझ में नहीं आता. बस जान गया तेरी पहचान यही है. I have you in my heart, but do not comprehend you. Maybe that is the best way of knowing you. Food for thought. Where is God? Thank you very much.